it's Britt and welcome back to my channel. Today we are making savory granola. This recipe is really awesome. It's a little bit different than our sweet granola, which I'll link up above now. Savory or sweet, we love either one. This one's just a little bit more fun and unique. We have been making this on the weekends. It's great to go camping or traveling and just switches it up for a nice crunch whenever you're missing, maybe store-bought granola or something that you want to get out, but you want to be in control of all the ingredients and make it definitely healthier. So this is refined sugar-free. It does have a little bit of seeds in it, but you can kind of tweak that, and I'll talk about what you can kind of take out and replace. You can customize this to fit whatever kind of plan you're following on a whole food plant-based lifestyle, and it's just a hit. So definitely make this if you love crunch, if you want something a little bit different, this recipe is for you. So we're gonna get into it. All of the measurements and everything are always linked down below in the show notes, as well as on our website, which has a free printable PDF for you guys. So make sure you check that out. But we're gonna get into 2 cups of rolled oats. All right, super simple. I also have 2 cups of cooked grains. Now you can use any grains for this. We're using buckwheat and millet today, and I cooked them. So it needs to be 2 cups after they're cooked and you've let cool, then you can use it. It works with any grains. Again, it's just make sure they're cooked and really, really simple. So again, we're using buckwheat and millet here, but you can use whichever grains that you personally like. All right, get that all in there. All right, the next step for the bulk of this recipe is our seeds. And in here I have sesame seeds, I have pumpkin seeds, and I also have sunflower seeds. You can use whichever seeds you personally like, switch it up. You also can replace this for nuts if you want to do that. Just adds a little bit more crunch and texture to our dish. It was 1/3 of each seed. So 1/3 pumpkin seeds, 1/3 sunflower seeds, and 1/3 sesame seeds for this. And just go ahead and give that a nice stir. It makes a huge batch of granola. And it stores really awesome as well when we're all finished. So a big batch lasts you very long. All right, incorporate that all. It should start to stick just a little bit because again, we used cooked grains for this. So not completely everything will stick, but you should see a little bit of it kind of combining. Awesome. All right, and up next is it's almost done. This is super quick and easy. We have our seasonings, we have our wet mixture, and we have our flax egg. So this is 2 flax eggs, which I mixed in 2 flax meal, 2 tablespoons of flax meal with 6 tablespoons of water. And then you let it sit, it gels up, and it makes a beautiful flax egg. So this is technically 2 flax eggs. And again, all of this is written out down below. You don't have to memorize it or take notes. It's all down there for you. And then I like to incorporate it each time. So in between adding in anything else, just give it a nice stir. All right, and then up next is really the liquid and kind of going to make everything uniformly coated, and so when we go to bake it. So in here I have 1/2 cup of dates that I've pitted mixed with 3/4 cups of water and 1/4 teaspoon of white miso. And this is going to be like again, it's going to make everything stick together and coat beautifully, and I just did that in a high-speed blender and set aside. It's the perfect amount of salt and sweetness for this recipe, not too much. And go ahead and mix that in. And so you can play around with any whole grains with this recipe. Just make sure your grains to liquid ratio is the same, and those 2 flax eggs. But you can play around with the spices for this. You guys know I like you guys to make our recipes fit for whatever your family likes. All right, and up next is what's going to make it savory. So in here is our seasonings, and I have 1 teaspoon of chili powder, 1/2 of a teaspoon of ginger powder, 1/2 of a teaspoon of smoked paprika, 1/4 of a teaspoon of turmeric, and 1/4 of a teaspoon of black pepper. And that's going to make it savory. But again, you can play around with that. and just make sure it's really incorporated well. All right, up next is getting our parchment-lined baking sheet, and we are going to get this in the oven. If you find that the spices are not spicy enough for you, you can up it. You can add double the amount of chili powder, really play around with it. And this is just how we like it. I like a tiny little bit of heat and savoriness, but not super overpowering where, you know, I'm kind of a wuss when it comes with hot things, so this is just the perfect amount of crunch and hot. And all those other spices, but we've done this with cumin, with garlic powder. You can use chipotle chili powder, so many different options. All right, let me get my baking sheet, and this is all ready to go into the oven. Smells so good. Once everything is well combined, go ahead and add it to a baking sheet lined with parchment paper, and so it doesn't stick. We're going to preheat the oven to 200 degrees because we're using some seeds in here. And you guys remember I always talk about glycotoxins and not roasting anything of high fat, high protein for high amounts of temperatures for long. This is going to bake for an hour and 20 minutes, maybe an hour and 30 depending on, you can double check on it depending on your oven. You just want it to be nice and golden brown, and again, we're cooking it nice and slow, kind of dehydrating the granola. And so this is a really awesome recipe to make because you can kind of go do some other things, not worry about anything burning, and it's ready to go. So go ahead and lay it out. I like to spread it out as evenly as possible, that way everything bakes beautifully. And I will post a blog post about glycotoxins down below in the show notes as well, if you're interested in reading up on that. I also get lots of questions about this basket I'm using. This is the air frying basket that comes with the Smart Oven Air Breville, and we just use it in the baking setting whenever. I love that it's like a little bit of a basket shaped rather than just a baking sheet. But I do get lots of times, every time I use this basket, I get questions on it. Again, that's just going to go into the oven, 200 degrees for around an hour and 20 minutes. Super easy. And you can think of all the awesome spice combinations and all the grains you can use to kind of switch this up so it never gets boring for your family. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you give this recipe a try. Savory granola, I can eat it all day long. It is so good. I've just been snacking on it. Travels well, perfect as a gift for somebody. Take it camping, enjoy it, we love it. So I really hope you guys will give this recipe a try. Play around with the spices, the grains, you know, whatever seeds you want to use. And leave us a comment down below if you make it and what you put in it. I hope you guys will subscribe, give this video a thumbs up, and I'll see you guys real soon for the next one. Thanks so much for watching. We're going to go enjoy it. Bye.